Welcome back to Jamming Games. I am Steven. He is Wyatt. We're watching Timmy playing. This is Yawgmoth Chord.
Yog.
And Wyatt playing this fucking deck on the right. It looks like Tim cut your deck after you'd already drawn your hand. What a delight. I hit opening up with Pithing Needle. What are you naming there?
Yawgmoth.
You just know what Tim's on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem with local metas. It gets easy to
Yeah.
This deck already Lantern Control just runs one Pithing Needle because you can tutor for it with Urza Saga.
Mm-hmm.
You just get to kick this deck specifically. There's a lot of decks that just Pithing Needle can kick really hard
Yeah,
too.
there's one effect that they cannot beat.
Yeah.
Yep. So Tim has something of a creature start that is relatively strong against Wyatt's strategy of locking the board up. Does he have an easy way to get rid of what's it called? Ensnaring Bridge?
I don't think he has a way to in the main board. He might have an abrupt to cast it. He has very few ways. He gets to attack for a little while.
I guess Abrupt Decay is pretty good, though.
He also has Noble Hierarch and Ignoble
Yeah,
Hierarch.
so he's got a few answers to it. And he can just drain you out around it. So this should be one of these games where he can kind of...
Well, he can't use Yawgmoth.
Right.
So he can't drain.
Cool. You are flying blind with this Codex Shredder, unfortunately.
Yes. That's how this deck works a lot of the time.
You just have to guess.
Yeah.
I feel like something good's coming. Get it out of here. Tim with a fetch here.
He has all those dorks and little people. I don't know what to call it. All of his one drop 1/1s that have some other effect.
Yeah.
Or 0/1s. A lot of these are 0/1s. That Wall of Roots is 0/5.
Yeah. You have enough cards in your hand that you're still being able to get through with all these, I believe.
Yes.
Here's a Yawgmoth just because it's a 2/4.
Hits a 2/4 with protection from humans.
Yep.
Which my deck does not run.
He sends in for 5. Oh, you're going to get him with it. Gross.
No, I just take it.
Oh, you just take it?
No.
You're not going to block with his 4/4?
Yeah.
Saga is quite good.
Yeah, right. Saga's kind of really good.
I feel like you are now ahead on board.
Yeah. At this point, if you were to scoop, I wouldn't put it past you.
Yeah. Because you have
I have
very big
2
constructs.
6/6s,
Yeah.
an ensnaring bridge and lantern control now.
Yep. So I think you probably let your buddy Tim have this.
And I thought so I have perfect information at this point.
Yeah. So at this point, for the remainder of the game, Tim most likely will not draw a card that matters. And trying to push some damage. I mean, sometimes you got to push damage through, I guess, especially if Wyatt's got some cards stranded in hand.
I must have ensnaring bridges in my hand or something. Oh, well, there's a Codex Shredder, which is very not an ensnaring bridge.
You have an ensnaring bridge in play.
Yeah, but I'm wondering what's in my hand, which I
that you're not casting.
Yeah.
So here's an ignoble hierarch, which, as mentioned, is one of the cards that gets around. It even doesn't at this point because you got the what's it called?
I have huge blockers.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, I have a surgical. Awesome.
And are you getting Yawgmoths?
I think I took ignoble because it's the one card that beats me. Yeah.
Yep. That's fair. Well, I mean, even this game is most likely over. It seems.
I guess even ignoble doesn't beat 2 6/6s or
no,
7/7s.
It's kind of funny because the deck used to have to just hide behind the what's it called, the bridge, and if the bridge died, you're probably dead. But you can sometimes just get got by you have 6/6s. You have blockers now. All right, here comes Assassin's Trophy. What are we targeting?
I think I'm just revealing it.
Oh, you're just playing with it up?
Yeah.
Okay, you have 2 cards.
Oh, no,
in there.
I'm casting it.
Get Yawgmoth on out of here. Don't need his kind around these parts. So Tim has 3 Graveyard Boy, 3 mana grave, Geralf's Messengers.
I was like, what are you thinking of?
Bro, give me some help. He can put you to 2, but he can't kill you, and I think you're probably just demonstrating that.
I played Kaya.
Eventually that's going to end the game.
Yeah.
Yep. So Tim's on the play for game 2. Starts off with a Birds of Bop. It feels like you have to get under this deck so fast because you've set up your lock, and the lock is so obnoxious. It's so hard to get past it. Yeah. Yeah, set it.
Here's a wall. Making another green mana. Have another dork. Oh, just another forest. Is that a forest? That's Yavimaya. Same thing.
Yavimaya is a pretty big game. I'm guessing that's maybe later.
I think he
Or
named
Codex
Shredder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, like...
Yeah. Makes it harder to be Wyatt in this game.
I think the worst part is I go with, like, Pixis next turn, not even, like, Coda Strider. Yeah. Here's Endurance.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Endurance lets him rebuy his graveyard to, like, force a game to go longer.
Yeah. Or I can just Pirate Spellbomb.
I just don't think it does anything, though. Yeah. Like, if you get to a point where you're almost out of cards, it's because your opponent... like, so if Tim gets to a point where he has no cards in his library, and wouldn't you know it, he endurances...
I mean, with a Lantern right now, if he endurances me before my next draw step, I have to shuffle it... Or does it shuffle over to the bottom or shuffle into the deck?
Shuffle bottom.
So it doesn't affect the top? Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I was like, if it causes a shuffle, you can make me shuffle away this... Ensnaring Bridge. Here's a Cursed Totem.
Yeah.
Cursed Totem, I think, stops every creature in this deck.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And so now he is looking at a 2-1 and a 0-3 to bring this game back around.
Endurance is a thing.
Oh, Endurance is a 3-4, you're right. Endurance is, on rate, a pretty good creature. A 3-mana 3-4 with Flash, I'm not mad at that. Give it some upside, give it an alternate casting cost. Here we go.
There's a Pixis.
Mm-hmm. So you have the weird choice of trying to control the board or trying to control draws. You go with draws.
Yeah, I mean, I have, 5 turns?
I guess you are at a very healthy life total for this.
And my opponent has 3 lands and a strangle rootgeist on top, and I'm going to activate Pixis, probably.
Yeah. Alright, here comes a trophy on this guy, so that now you opened up Codex Shredder again. Yeah.
This game's going to be very slow. We're sorry for...
It's kind of the lot in life. These games are so boring to watch, but, like, you are definitely in control of the game. It's going to be very hard for your opponent to do anything because you control their draw steps all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. It's very, very powerful.
There's a
Quarter Calling. Get that out of here.
And then I don't know what that is on top of my
It's a Yawgmoth. And it Urza Saga for you. So is this time for the Ensnaring Bridge? It is.
Another lantern.
Another lantern. That gives you a shuffle in case your opponent has a bunch of runners. That's pretty bad for you, huh?
Oof. Sadly, I have this Pixis.
Yeah. And so, like, Oof is one of these cards. If your opponent has it on turn 2, like, if you can't Thoughtseize it, they resolve it. You're kind of in a big bind.
It's harder to fight through that than it is, like, a... What's it called? Phyrexian Revoker.
Yep.
There's a Leyline.
Well, it's kind of funny because Pixis, not Pixis, excuse me, Cursed Totem and Pithing Needle are very similar to Revoker and, what's it called? Collector Oof. It's one versus all. Like, Oof gets all of your artifacts. Cursed Totem is a Pithing Needle naming every creature your opponent has, which is pretty great.
But sometimes you don't need it. You don't want to name creatures. I think this game I name Verdant Catacombs because I don't want my opponent to get shuffles to try and affect the top.
That's actually very fun.
It like happens a lot. Like sometimes you just have to do it. Yeah.
So don't get to shuffle.
Codex Shredder. There's one on top.
Yep. So you were in a very, very like Tim would have to have 5 or 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game winners in a row is what he needs to have on top of his library.
And instead, there's a Khalni Garden.
Now it is 6. And so Tim needs to have 6 game-winning cards on top of his library in order to get back in this. And it's unlikely that happens.
Yes.
He does have Pokemon tokens, though.
That's a little 0-1 plant.
Funny story, this is in the Swiss rounds. These guys met again in the semifinals, and Tim just didn't want to be on camera. Just didn't want this. He's like, God, I just don't want to do this. Yeah. I'm sorry, Tim. Because this deck is okay against your deck. He has a decent shot at beating you.
If you have like a combo finish, like you can usually get around like the silliness.
Yeah.
But like at this point, it's hard to stop the silliness.
Get around the silliness. The silliness has its claws all the way sunk in. Also, you have like 20 power in constructs right now.
There's so many ensnaring bridges, I'll never be able to attack them.
Yeah. So you just have to start milling. What's his name? Tim, you're trying to mill him out, huh?
Well, I'm trying to find either Academy Ruins Pirate Spellbomb, or I'm trying to mill him out. Or I'm trying to play Kaya...
Ghost Assassin.
Whatever the legal one is. Ghost Assassin's not legal.
What?
That's the 4-drop one, right?
I don't know what any of the Kayas are called.
Oh, okay.
I just thought they weren't worth my notice, but apparently they're good.
The black-white one, at the end of Lantern Control's life, before Mox Opal got banned, saw a lot of play, because it was powerful.
It does damage equal to the number of cards in exile or something like that.
You plus to exile 2 cards and gain a life for a creature. Gain 2 life for a creature. Minus is exile non-land permanent CMC 1 or less. And old is it'll do damage equal to the number of cards in exile. Yeah.
Pixis exiling cards face down is really obnoxious. Because you have to have another pile that looks just like your library right next to your library.
Yeah.
So Tim cut your library, and I was like, oh, he left half of it just sitting over there. And no, that's just a pile you had to make because of the game state.
Here's some mills. Here's mills.
Yeah, we're just doing this for the entire game.
Here's a mill.
Yeah.
There's my Academy ruins.
Oh, yes. Oh, he didn't have it. Whoa, so Tim had a lot of runners in there. You had to mill all those.
Sadly, it just didn't matter.
Yeah, Tim gets a free draw now with this verdant catacombs. Yeah, dude. It's like watching yourself age. You know what I mean? You're eventually gonna die and lose your hair, and just like it's just fucking fine, whatever. One at a time. Here we go. Yep.
Yeah, it sucks that you do have to do it one at a time.
Bye, Yawgmoth. Sometimes they have to mill both of us because that's what these cards say.
And I think here I play this Pithy Needle on freaking verdant catacombs.
Yes.
I also have 5 mill effects plus 3 shuffle effects. Like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the shuffle effects don't actually end the game any faster. Here comes this. So this is the classic ask, does it resolve more than once? And then be like, hold on. Yeah.
For silly cards like this.
Yep. So, Young Wolf got to go. Strangle Rootgeist, get him out of here. Is that a Force of Vigor? Oh, this is after draw. Yeah. Wow. You gave Tim hope for a second because there was no one on top. He's like, I'm going to draw this one. Oh, no, I'm not. The game's going to end. All right, so everyone's counting libraries here. It could mean that this is going to mercifully cease in some point.
Yeah, I'm just going to try to, I'm going to, power mill him for, 5 every turn.
Yeah. All right. Everyone needs the payoff of seeing Tim have no cards in his library. So we're going to keep recording this for some while.
I mean, eventually this will end. I think the next rotation is when this ends.
Yep. So Wyatt wins to no one's surprise or amusement. And the deck is good. The deck is a very good deck. It is hard to beat, but it is painful to play and painful to watch. And, yeah. You just knocked him all that last card?
I think I wasn't able to. I didn't have enough mill effects.
Cool. That'll kill Tim. Wyatt'll get it. Thanks for watching.